Ever felt like your entire identity was wrapped up into your job, goals, or achievements, and when those things changed, you didn't know who you were anymore? If you've ever struggled with defining your worth beyond your career or life goals, you're not alone. Let's talk about what happens when your job becomes your identity, why it's dangerous, and how to find real, lasting fulfillment beyond your title. For years, my biggest dream was to become a Chick-fil-A operator. Everything about me was focused on that goal. I measured my personal value and success by how close I was to achieving it. Every positive evaluation felt like a step forward, and every setback felt crushing. If I got negative feedback, my mood and self-esteem would plummet and affect the way I treated my family, coworkers, and even myself. My worth was entirely based on this one role, and it took a toll. When I finally stepped back and reflected, I realized something scary. If I never became an operator, who was I? Was I even valuable at all? This realization shook me. I saw how many people built their lives around a single identity, maybe a career goal, a job title, or even relationships, and lose themselves when things inevitably change. I didn't want that for myself anymore. I needed to redefine who I was beyond my job. That decision transformed everything. So let's start off by talking why your job shouldn't define your identity. When your identity is anchored in your job or career, your emotional stability and self-worth become extremely fragile, entirely dependent upon external validation and circumstances you can't control. Take, for instance, at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Simone Biles, who was widely considered the greatest gymnast of all time, shocked the world by stepping away from the competition due to mental health struggles. Simone later revealed how immense pressure and her identity as a gymnast became intertwined. She felt her value as a person depended entirely on her athletic success. This pressure led to severe anxiety and burnout. Her story spotlighted the danger of tying our worth solely to achievement. Ultimately, by prioritizing herself over her identity as an athlete, Simone became an advocate for mental health, teaching us all a powerful lesson. And if that didn't do it for you, according to a 2022 Gallup poll, 55% of Americans associate their personal identity closely or entirely with their profession. This dependency often leads to anxiety, burnout, and dissatisfaction in personal lives. Your worth as a human being should never hinge on your career. You're worth more than your job title, salary, or performance metrics. So let's say you achieve your dream. Then what? Reaching your big dream or landing that desired job is incredible until you've realized that you spent all those years defining yourself by achieving something, and now that you've achieved it, you're lost. The destination itself rarely provides lasting satisfaction. Michael Phelps, who is one of the most decorated Olympians in history, achieved everything he dreamed of: 28 Olympic gold medals, countless records, and global fame. But after his career ended, he plunged into depression, unsure of who he was beyond swimming. He openly shared how achieving his lifelong goals left him feeling empty and directionless, spiraling into substance abuse and emotional turmoil. It wasn't until he sought help and began to define his identity beyond swimming, through family, giving back, and mental health advocacy, that he truly found lasting fulfillment. A Harvard Business Review study from 2021 found that nearly 40% of high achievers experienced depression or anxiety after achieving their biggest goals because they hadn't defined their identity beyond these milestones. Your identity and self-worth need to exist beyond any single goal or achievement. Success alone doesn't guarantee happiness or fulfillment. Congratulations on making it this far in the video. Now we're going to talk about how do you redefine your identity beyond just your job. Building a stable, fulfilling identity requires intentional reflection, clear self-awareness, and the courage to define yourself by deeper values, not external achievements. So let's go through the R.E.A.L framework. The R stands for reflect. Identify how your current reality is shaped by external validation. E, evaluate. Clearly distinguish between what you do, your job and roles, and who you are, your values and passions. A stands for anchor. Ground your identity in values and relationships that aren't tied to your job. L is for live. Practice living out this balanced identity every day, reminding yourself that your worth isn't conditional. And here's an example of someone who did an incredible job reshaping their identity around their values and passions. The former NFL player Steve Gleason had his identity deeply tied to football. When an ALS tragedy took away his physical abilities and ended his career abruptly, Gleason faced an enormous identity crisis. Instead of remaining trapped by his identity as an athlete, he courageously chose to redefine himself as an advocate for ALS patients, an inspirational speaker, and a devoted family man. His identity became rooted in purpose, family, and helping others, providing meaning and strength far beyond the football field. Research from Psychology Today suggests that individuals with multiple identities and roles have significantly higher emotional resilience and life satisfaction compared to those who identify strongly with only one aspect of their lives. Redefining your identity around deeper values and broader roles creates a lasting fulfillment and resilience, even when circumstances change dramatically. So this week, ask yourself honestly, who am I beyond my job or my biggest life goal? Try listing 5 aspects of your identity unrelated to career or achievements and focus on strengthening those aspects intentionally. Your identity should never be reduced to your job or achievements. True fulfillment and resilience come from building an identity rooted in deeper values and broader roles. Have you ever experienced an identity crisis after reaching a big goal or changing careers? I'd love to hear how you navigated in the comments below. And if you like this episode, please hit that like and subscribe. It'll help me out a lot. And then hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any more content. Have a great week, guys. Peace.